Hi, I'm James Sedley. Welcome back to the Living in Savannah channel. The National Association of Realtors recently released a consumer guide for prospective homebuyers entitled 10 Questions to Ask a Buyer's Agent. In light of the recent changes I've discussed elsewhere here on the channel, resulting from the NAR settlement in the Seitzer-Burnett case, I thought it might be helpful to review these suggestions from NAR through multiple lenses. Why they may or may not be useful to you in your home search, how they apply specifically to the market here on Skidaway Island, and finally, how I would generally answer each of these. Now, given the multi-part answers, I'm going to break this episode up into two separate parts, addressing 5 of these suggested NAR questions in each part. Before jumping into those first 5, let me take a moment to thank you for tuning into these videos, for subscribing. Please do so if you haven't already, and for liking and sharing those videos that you find of interest. Sincerest thanks on all those counts. And with that said, now let's dig into those NAR suggested questions. Beginning with number 1, are you a realtor? I know, shocking, right? We didn't see the trade association representing realtors leading off with this suggested question. Seriously, though, it goes beyond self-serving interests in that realtors commit to doing business under a code of ethics that non-realtors are not committed to abiding by. So simply put, your interests as a client should be first and foremost always when working with a realtor. Now, having said that, you would probably be hard-pressed to find an agent doing business in the Landings or anywhere else here on Skidaway that isn't a realtor for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is access to the local MLS. So simply put, you are highly unlikely to really suss out any differentiating information by asking this question. And as I said, I'll answer these questions from my perspective. Yes, I am a realtor. So, number 2, what types of services can you provide? I'm just going to share NAR's exact words in their guide outlining what you might expect from a realtor. Finding you homes that meet your criteria, accompanying you to showings, sharing their analysis of the market and available properties, negotiating on your behalf, and more. So not unlike the first question, if you aren't expecting and getting everything in that sentence from a buyer's agent, you almost certainly do not want to work with that agent. Where the rubber meets the road here is in both that and more at the end of that NAR list, as well as in the how or how well that agent performs those delineated functions on your behalf. Does the agent take the time to understand what your criteria really are and send you homes that actually meet those criteria, or is the approach more scattershot, such as sending you everything new in the Landings every day? What about them and or their background leads you to believe they will do the best job negotiating on your behalf? And what's the more that they can offer that will benefit you? As for my answer to this question, you will absolutely get all of those things in the NAR list, of course, at the level that you might expect from someone with my personal and professional background. And the more will be tailored to your particular circumstances and needs and will extend long beyond your closing date. Number 3, how well do you know the markets where I am searching for a home? It seems pretty obvious and clear, right? Well, technically, anyone licensed in the state of Georgia could serve as your buyer's agent here, whether their brokerage is based in Savannah, Athens, or Atlanta. It should not take long to identify whether a prospective buyer's agent for you understands the Skidaway real estate market. As for my answer, I'd say just take a look at the library of videos on this channel as a starting point, and then let's talk to see if I am the right fit for you. Number 4, do you have experience working with buyers in my situation? Aside from a bit more self-serving interest by NAR as they talk about their various post-licensing accreditations that they aim to sell to us realtors, the real core of this question is making sure the agent is a good fit with your context for buying a home in the Landings. General examples could include first-time home buyers or veterans who might be using FHA or VA loans, but specific to the local market, I'd go beyond this to say you should be comfortable in the knowledge that your agent understands the nuances of the market here on the island. As to my personal answer, I certainly have the experience of having worked across a range of buyer types and can discuss that with you. But I think the proof will be in the pudding of us connecting to discuss your particular context to assess the fit in both directions. And as an aside, do not be surprised if after that initial consultation, I suggest that you might be better served by another agent I can recommend if I don't think that my experience and expertise will best serve you. And number 5, can you tell me about your approach to scouting properties? I made a passing reference to some of what this might entail earlier, but in general, you want to feel comfortable that your buyer's agent has both the time and the technical expertise to walk that line between making sure you don't miss seeing a home that could be a great fit and inundating you with loads of properties and information that are not anywhere close to being good fits or useful to you. Again, context is everything, as my approach is to work with each client in a way that is uniquely tailored to their particular circumstances. But one very specific aspect of my answer to this question is that unless they wish otherwise, my clients get curated listings from me that I have specifically scouted for them, along with comments on the pluses and minuses of these scouted homes based upon their criteria. That brings us to the end of part one of this discussion. I hope that this conversation has been useful and look forward to continuing it in the next episode. Until then, I thank you again for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And if there's any way that I can help with your buying or selling needs here on Skidaway, please do not hesitate to get in touch. See you soon.